My name is Mark Sonoda, in product management, more like product development at Ameritech. We did a similar talk last NANOG, so I didn't want to repeat everything that we did, so we're not going to go over the architecture and the general layout. For those that don't actually know, it's an ATM exchange point with a full mesh of UBR PVCs clustered in 3 switches. Unlike Pac Bell, which has to be distributed, we got everything just in a single location. We do a similar slide just about every talk to kind of use the same metrics to measure ourselves, and we've currently got about 90 customers, 10 more in various stages of installation or pre-sales activity. We still have a pretty constant run rate of new customers, about two a month, one every 2 weeks. It really hasn't slowed down at all over the past couple years or so. As far as volume, we're at about 2.1 gig. It was 1.8 at the last NANOG, so that's actually a pretty big jump for just a few months. And from what we can tell, the biggest driver for that has been people that are either upgrading to OC12 or upgrades from DS3s to OC3s, where they're going from a saturated DS3 to an OC3 and right away going right up to 50, 60, 70 meg right off the bat. So I think that's where we're seeing that from. The big news is the migration that we talked about at the last talk that we finally, after a couple of false starts, got done a week and a half ago, last Sunday, May 16th. We migrated off of the old Lucent GloView 2000 onto an Ascend network of GX 550s and CBX 500s. It was not a trivial task. We had to do a few things at once because one switch was in one room and the new switches were in another room, so we had to move some other transmission equipment around to get this all done in one window, so we didn't have to go back and rearrange things later. So we already had some customers moved over, and we had a lot of new customers that we've been adding to the Ascend switches since the beginning of the year. So we had a total of about 71 customers that we had to move over to the new switch. We moved an OC48 full of OC3s from one room to another, and then we individually moved 16 DS3s onto the new OC48 system. So everything's lined up in one room, and we shouldn't have to do any more rearrangements for that. I think it's worth mentioning that the GloView that we used was in service for a little bit over 5 years actually. We had some early stuff on it before. It was actually called a NAP switch in October '94. And overall, it was pretty reliable. We only had one major outage across the whole 5-year period. We had a few minor ones, but generally it was really, really stable, and we were pretty happy with the way it performed during the time we were using it. We probably could have used it a little bit longer, but it didn't support OC12, and it would have been a pretty painful upgrade. So we went to the Ascend platform. What that's buying us right away is the OC12 demand that we've been seeing. Signaling support, SVCs, which we might be doing with some of our R&E customers, MPLS, which we're going to have to be ready for in probably next year, like Steve had mentioned that he'll probably be doing too, and improved SNMP support, better stats than we've been able to do so far. I'm going to talk about that in a couple minutes. This is kind of just a list of new customers or customers that are just about to connect. One of the reasons that we've still had the steady growth is that we don't have to have ISPs. We've got StarTAP, which is an NSF program for international connections for research education. We've got Internet 2, Abilene, BBNS, and other government-related stuff too. So all that stuff combined together is contributing to the growth that we've had. What's next? Enhanced switch-based reporting. Now we've got a new platform. We've got availability of a lot better SNMP statistics. The SNMP proxy agent we were using on the Lucent switch had been broken for quite a long time, and it wasn't even responding to all the polls, and it wasn't necessarily all that accurate, and we really couldn't do much with it. So we're planning on being able to offer per PVC stats via secure web connection to customers. I'm hoping that'll turn out to be a good engineering tool, at least in addition to what you might already have. And we're going to go back to the aggregate daily graphing that we have been doing, probably with some type of an MRTG type presentation. We had a BOF at the last NANOG. I'm sure a few of you probably were there, and the discussion was the address renumbering. And we took the comments that we got back from everybody and tried to address all the concerns, and After a lot of discussion, we decided to go ahead with this renumbering with new space that we got designated just for the exchange point. One of the concerns was that we didn't want to carve something out of some Ameritech super block that could get swallowed up by some large entity and force everybody to renumber again. So we've got new space just for the exchange point. It's going to be managed by Merit, which was another concern people had about Ameritech doing that. We've got a target set of June 27th to, actually we're going to have like a window set up for folks to renumber. And Merit is also going to do the route server reconfiguration work at the same time. We're going to be getting more specific details out to everybody, either via email or on our website, so you can expect to hear more about that later. That's pretty much it. This is the contact information. Annie Schmidt is the focal point now for sales. Technical, Kevin, me, and that's the website where we're going to have all the info. That's it.